Hey there! In today's episode of Drift Project, we're picking up a freshly machined V8 engine and installing the interior in the BMW E92. Let's go! Listen, before we start the whole episode, we wanted to thank you so much for the number of comments under the last Drift Project video. There was a flood of comments saying mechanic, which means you want more technical content related to vehicle mechanics and more. And in response to your comments, to your requests, we have a place for you where, simply put, we'll be showing more content strictly focused on knowledge. It won't be a YouTube format anymore, so if you want to get this kind of video and knowledge, we invite you to Drift Patriot Academy. And what is that? It's a free mailing list where, to put it simply, we send you emails and share knowledge about car drifting techniques, automotive mechanics, and car modifications. To sign up for this mailing list, go to www.driftpatriot.com, visit the Drift Patriot Academy page, leave your email, and in response, we'll send you a video where Camille will tell you about a very interesting topic.
On the lift, we have a car that came to us with a front axle brake system failure, which is a system found in every car, whether it's meant for motorsport or a so-called daily driver, meaning a car we use every day. This particular car had its front brakes replaced, but mistakes were made during the installation of the brake system, which caused the car to be immobilized and could lead to costs related to these errors reaching even several thousand zlotys. If you want to learn about these mistakes and avoid them in your own cars, check out the link in the description.
We're starting the next stage of building the E92, and today we'll be installing all the things you see here in the attached picture. Specifically, we'll start with the mounts for the bucket seat, then we'll install the previously mentioned bucket seat itself. We also have seat belts, 2 sport steering wheels to choose from, a hub that will attach to the stock BMW steering column, and on top of that we'll add a quick release hub so the steering wheel can be quickly detached. A safety fire extinguisher, a footrest with sandpaper for your heels so you can work with your heels and clean them off right there, scraping them. Harness bar. If someone doesn't know what that is or why we're installing it, we'll explain that to you today as well. Strut bars, and finally a plate for the trunk. So, in short, let's get to work, and while we're working, we'll tell you a bit more about why these parts are used and why they're even installed in a drift car, so you'll know how to work on your own cars as well. We have this instrument here to play. But seriously, we still have painting ahead of us because this part will go onto the trunk lid, and then what? And here, when water splashes, it will get rusty in no time, and there's no point in letting it rust if it doesn't have to. Let's get to work. Camille is already inside, and to put it simply, great. Now the hardest part is done. There will be less talking and more doing. That's what we like.
What?
Świeża check.
He didn't even have a mustache yet.
See? See what drifting does to people. But now it's going to happen because there's an E92, a return to BMW, and a V8.
As you can see, the seat still isn't installed, and now I'll tell you why. Yesterday was the first fitting, but when Pavel got in, it turned out that the steering wheel wasn't perfectly centered with the seat, so we had to do something to change that, because such a seat position isn't acceptable for us. So if we turn our mounting rail to center the seat, now we have a situation where it doesn't rest its entire surface against the car body. We must solve this problem as the current solution is unacceptable for us. So I have to extend the metal plate, and on the other side I've already made a mounting bracket that will go in this spot. And that's how it will be mounted. So why are we doing this? Ultimately, different people will be driving this car, including some of you, so we just want to make sure that the installation of the bucket seat is 100% safe.
Safety first, guys. Remember, you only have one life, and we like to enjoy life and want to enjoy it for a long time, so things like this are fundamental for us, and we advise you to do the same.
In theory, we could just leave the mounting rail like this. It's only supported by half of its surface on the car body, and theoretically, with any stronger impact, this rail could come loose. It's unlikely but possible, so that's why we're doing it in such a way that the rail rests with its entire surface on the car body. That's why I was cutting the metal plate here, and in a moment we'll weld the plate I made earlier on the other side as well. Now I'm checking the threads after welding because, as you can see, the cross member is already welded in place, so I re-threaded the holes to make sure the threads are all right. And now we'll paint it with some primer so it doesn't rust, and then we can finally install the driver's seat.
However, there has been a change of plans. The paint is drying, so in the meantime, we'll work on installing the harness bar. We have these two Formula One control arms that need to be fitted into the BMW. Camille.
The welder is nearby, the grinder too, so go ahead.
So yeah, you could say it's classic plug and play. Let's get to it.
The harness bar is mounted to the seatbelt mounts, and those are located under the covers under the B-pillar trim. So we need to remove them to expose the mounting points. Hey, is this how you do it?
No. Nicely.
There's a problem. Namely, our friend from Japan has come again. Kozimazaki keeps mowing and mowing. So we need to find a little spacer here, and only then will we install it so that it's done properly.
We have this mounting. Here it's already screwed in, it's caught. We'll see in a moment where its final position will be. We'll use the factory screw, but we need to recover it from the seatbelt mount because this screw has an integrated sleeve, and here we have a large hole, so this sleeve fits perfectly here. So we'll use the stock screw. I added a washer on the other side to make everything flush, and now we'll start assembling. Only one worker ran away from us. I installed mine, and
Poverty persists here, created but not addressed.
Daniel can't because he's recording.
My hand itches to punch you.
And he probably made it dirty too, you know, freshly installed, not even mounted yet, and already dirty, probably.
how from the top?
Because you can put it from the top or the bottom, right? Because we have it from the top. Listen, today is a really good day for assembly. If nobody comes to see us, food will arrive. And if food doesn't arrive, we'll have to do something else. Work is going well today. Phew, but we're persistent. We'll assemble it today. No way around it.
La, you can see some progress.
Basically, if you want to do anything in your car after today, I can tell you that a set of washers of all sizes is a must-have. The good side, Daniel. Here you go, one for you. There's a coaster.
From the inside or from the outside?
I would suggest from the outside.
The harness bar has been fitted to the car. Now we need to make some small modifications to its lower mounts. Here we have the factory bushing, which was used for the lower seatbelt mounting. We'll use it, but we need to gently enlarge the hole and then carefully trim the bushing, and then we'll be able to finally bolt our new bar into the car.
It's like a game, you know, you have to jump up here and hit the spot. There was a little fish. No, you had buttons and there were discs moving around, and you had to get those discs to land on.
No.
And back then there were no phones and it was fine, right? But now all the young people are always on their phones. They don't see the world beyond their screens. No, our audience is actually normal. They watch how cars are made, useful things. They improve their manual skills and definitely their patience too.
For now, we'll screw everything together gently.
All right.
The harness bar has been temporarily attached to the body, but why did we even install it? For two reasons, actually. In the E92, we're going to install harness seat belts, and so we'll simply attach the belts to our harness bar. Plus, combined with the rear strut brace, which is still waiting to be installed, it will stiffen up the body. So now we're finally getting to installing the seat. That's the max.
Hold it, right?
No, it's fine like this.
This is as far back as it goes, right?
Listen, it's a historic moment. There's a driver in the car, but look what's happening here. We made a seat with rails so we can adjust its position, because you, the viewers of this channel, will also get to drive this car. We have a quiet plan that once we finish building this project, we want to share the fun of driving it with you. Probably Kamil and Daniel will drive it too, the whole Drift Patriot team, so having a movable seat is essential in this case. Now, we're moving on to the next step, which is installing the hub on the stock steering column, then adding a quick release, and we'll choose the steering wheel offset. Let's get to work. Yeah, the parts are here. And now, here we have a quick release hub, which disconnects the steering wheel from the car. Let's call it that. We'll set it aside, and here we have a hub that we screw onto the steering column right here. And we have two versions because we want to check which offset will suit us better. As you can see, this one is definitely smaller. Here the offset is bigger, but now we have to try everything out and juggle the options so that, in short, it's as universal as possible, the car handles well, it's comfortable, and you can drift.
I'm trying to do this gently. Try to unlock it. Altitude, altitude.
It's unlocked.
Oh, lock it.
Locked.
And now you can spin. But now it's just you. Now you're steering on your own. No, now the hub is fine. Now the steering wheel itself is crooked.
When you have dreams where you're running and can't escape, here you have a gear shift and you can't shift.
We have the steering wheel and the hub installed. And finally, we're giving up on the quick release, because if we added it, the steering wheel would be pushed even further away. And BMW offers us this range of motion, so we think that overall, this will probably be the most universal. I can easily adjust myself, so later on, when we move the seat, you can bring the steering wheel closer and drift. We have the trunk cover painted, so now we'll seal it with silicone, put it in place, screw it on, and we'll have this part done. We're doing a gap test. Camille is downstairs. Camille, do you see the hole? Camille says there's no light at the end of the tunnel. In this case, that's good.
I'm holding what's called a shoulder strap in my hand. We need to make a small modification because it's factory tied to the connector that goes into the body. We won't be using this because we have a harness bar and we'll be attaching the strap to the bar we installed earlier, so we're getting rid of this part. Now we're threading the strap through the seat. We'll do this with 2 straps, and in a moment we'll tie the strap to our bar. The shoulder straps are installed. As I mentioned earlier, we'll tie them to our harness bar, and now you can see what angle we get thanks to that. According to the manufacturer, an Appendix J with an 8-degree angle, it's installed correctly. The recommended range is from 0 to 10, and we can't exceed 45 degrees at most, so in our case, everything is perfectly safe. That's it for work on the BMW today. It's already late, so we'll see each other in the workshop on the next day.
We're starting another day of filming, and as you can see, the E92 is already starting to look really nice. We've got most of the parts preliminarily mounted in cool, subdued colors, and personally for me, this is something beautiful. All the parts we've installed here are from Interrally's offer. If you want to build a drift or rally car, you'll find a huge assortment of motorsport parts there. So if you're gearing up for the season, that's the place you should visit. All we have left to do is weld the plates to the lower belts, permanently mount the so-called tray, and we can say that this part is finished. But we won't do that now, because we've just got fresh news from the grinding shop that the V8 engine is ready for pickup. So, in short, we're dropping what we're doing and heading out to pick up the 1UZ engine.
But I'd ride a bike down this.
Oh, here's a little spot. Take a look. For downhill biking.
When they were building this road here, I once had to go through the forest with Delphinek. Did you have to go through the forest here?
What?
I drove here with Delphinek. I almost got stuck because the road was under construction with no alternate route.
Well, we're basically arriving. We're already pretty close. Very pleasant entrance. I was generally very happy to hear that we're going to get the engine, but then Camille told me how much I have to pay and my smile faded a bit. But generally, I'm excited again, so we're arriving. Let's see how the toys look. Oh, to the grinding shop.
Here's Mr. Roman.
Okay, so let's go inside and we'll show you a few of the machines while we're at it.
These are the new Kubus machines, right?
A new engine.
That's a factory defect, right? The cast iron here is not filled in properly. Here, a kind of cushion forms and it cracks, an impact, detonation, and it'll crack here, right?
Here these are.
This is where the circus begins, correct?
But if you compare the thickness here.
But look, it seems fine. It's made like that. There's resistance at the bottom. Here a thick sleeve and everything, and look how it wore out right away. You see? 600ths written, 600ths, 100th, 2, 3. That's how much this sleeve wore out.
How old is it? 2, 3 years?
Yeah, that's right.
And that one is 30 and the sleeve is perfect. Look, Daniel, see how it looks?
Here the sleeves have already been pulled out.
No. It's pure automotive. There's a small monitor currently off since nothing is happening.
And this one works.
Yes, it moves up and down. It's like a computer numerical control, a kind of machine, something like that.
Like I said, it moves on its own. It senses by itself where it needs to do that micron level.
All right, but what? Does he collect with it or something like that?
No.
Okay, all right.
Diamonds.
Is this universal or does it vary by abrasive?
No, you have to do each size differently, right?
Well, I mean the size, but...
Because it's a different size, right? Because it expands, you turn that little box and it moves like this, right?
Oh, and it has an adjustment, right?
Ah, okay.
The entire object is loose and appears to be floating.
No.
When it goes into the cylinder, it has to, right? Even though it stiffens up, obviously, because it can't just move around like this one or that one. But for example, it's got this thing where it's a pretty damn complicated machine, right? Because, for example, the hole is never exactly around or something. There's always a bit left, here a bit of a cone, here this, and where it's got a bump, look, it keeps moving for a long time, right? It goes out and comes back out again, right?
And after using such a machine, the honing is done the way it should be. You see, here you have a closed block, and over there you have an open block, so you can see the gaps, but here it's closed, which is generally much more durable than an open block, but as you can see, this one has had enough too.
It's had enough, exactly.
That's why it's here. It had a reason for coming.
What engines do you work on most often now? Is there a particular model? But no, I mean one that comes up the most, just because it's so weak and wears out or breaks quickly. Is there a top one like that?
No, everything works fine.
All of them?
Everything goes from one line, right? It's like cigarettes, Marlboro, LMs, everything from different brands. They put the stickers on the same way. Everything from one line, Ford, BMW, Nissan. What will it be today? All right, today it's going to be a Renault. Today it's going to be, and that's how it looks, total junk, yeah.
One piston stays because Mr. Roman will try to find us the right rings.
Ah, great. So...
We won't have to do that. I asked Mr. Roman, he'll do it for us.
Oh, now that's me.
Now look, you can see it nicely too.
What can you see?
The fresh honing and oil thickness when everything is nicely cleaned.
Now take a look, just watch.
Do you see how thick the cylinder liner is?
No.
Compare it to what he showed us.
Well, what he showed us, I don't know, that's a huge difference, really.
That's a different world.
That's a couple of those.
Yes, exactly. That's a different world.
But generally, it's all clean here. It'll sit and shine inside.
Because it was in ultrasound.
Camille was here. The motorcycle is in the van. Now we're going to cry and pay. Comprehensive machining of the crank piston assembly of a Toyota V8 engine 2078. Comprehensive machining of the cylinder heads with a leak test for cracks, 4,784 gross. So, we have the invoice. It's paid. I joke that we're paying and crying, but seriously, we're doing all this so we can put the engine in once and do it right so it serves us for a really long time and we don't have to keep coming back to this issue. We just want to enjoy a long, pleasant ride without breakdowns. That's what we care about, so now we're heading to the garage to take a closer look at all these machine surfaces. Let's go.
As you can see, the engine is practically ready to be assembled. If you want us to show you and name all the individual parts that make up such an engine, write a comment saying motor. Then we'll create an extensive piece for Drift Parts from Academy and, of course, share it with you. However, if you prefer a more relaxed YouTube style, write a comment saying piston. That's all for this episode. See you next time. Bye for now.